Okay, let's talk about the state of software engineering. Because a lot of developers are confused right now. They're looking at layoffs, they're looking at AI, they're looking at job postings disappearing, they're looking at senior engineers struggling to find work, and they're asking the same question. Am I cooked? The answer is maybe, but probably not for the reason you think. The biggest mistake software engineers are making right now is believing they're paid to write code. You're not. You never were. You were paid to solve problems. Code was simply the tool. And now that AI can generate code faster than most humans, a lot of people are discovering they built their entire career around the tool instead of the outcome. Think about it. For years, the industry rewarded specialization. Learn React, learn Vue, learn Angular, learn Kubernetes, learn AWS, learn Docker, learn TypeScript, learn GraphQL, learn whatever the hot framework is this month. And companies paid you because these skills were scarce. Now, I can open an AI tool and generate thousands of lines of code in minutes. The code isn't always perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It only needs to be good enough to reduce the amount of human labor required. That's the part people don't understand. AI doesn't have to be better than you. It only has to make one engineer capable of doing the work of three. And if one engineer can do the work of three, what happens to the other two? That's what's happening right now. Not because companies hate developers, not because technology is evil, because economics always wins. Always. If a company can spend less money to achieve the same outcome, they will. Every single time. And before somebody says AI can't replace senior engineers, you're missing the entire point. The threat isn't replacement, the threat is compression. Maybe a company used to need 10 junior developers, 5 mid level developers, three senior developers. Now maybe they need 2 juniors, 3 mids, and 2 seniors. The jobs don't disappear entirely, the ladder gets smaller. And that's where people start fighting for fewer opportunities as if this industry wasn't competitive enough. That's why you're seeing experienced engineers applying for jobs beneath their experience level. That's why you're seeing entry level developers unable to break into the industry. That's why you're seeing hiring managers overwhelmed with applications. The market is changing faster than most people are willing to admit. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your biggest competition isn't AI. It's the engineer who learned how to use AI. Read that again. Your biggest competition isn't AI. It's the developer who can solve problems, communicate with stakeholders, understand business needs, leverage AI tools, and ship products faster than you. That's who you're competing against, not the machine, the person using the machine. The calculator didn't eliminate mathematicians, it eliminated people who only knew arithmetic. The same thing is happening right now. The engineers who survive this transition are going to look different. They're going to understand sales. They're going to understand the marketing. They're going to understand operations. They're going to understand automation. They're going to understand product development. They're going to understand business because businesses don't buy code, they buy outcomes. Nobody wakes up saying, I need 20,000 lines of React. They wake up saying, I need more customers, I need lower cost, I need more efficiency. I need more revenue. I need more leads. Code is simply a means to an end, which brings me to the biggest opportunity of this entire AI revolution. Most engineers are asking, how do I keep my job? The better question is, what problems can I solve? Because the barriers to building businesses have collapsed. One person can now build things that used to require entire teams. One person can launch SaaS products. One person can automate businesses. One person can create internal tools. One person can build AI workflows. One person can create products that generate revenue while they sleep. The same technology people fear is also creating opportunities that didn't exist 5 years ago. But opportunities only matter if you're willing to move. The engineers who get left behind will spend the next 5 years arguing on LinkedIn about whether AI is good or bad. The engineers who win will be busy building. They'll be talking to business owners. They'll be identifying inefficiencies. They'll be creating solutions. They'll be launching products. They'll be generating revenue. And they'll be adapting faster than the market changes. I don't care if you're 22 years old. I don't care if you're 42 years old. I don't care if you've been coding for 6 months. I don't care if you've been coding for 20 years. Nobody is entitled to keep their position in a changing market. Technology doesn't care about your tenure. It doesn't care about your degree. It doesn't care about how things used to work. The market rewards value. And right now, the definition of value is changing rapidly. So stop asking whether AI will replace software engineers. That's the wrong question. Ask yourself this: if your current job disappeared tomorrow, could you identify a problem, build a solution, and make money from it? Could you walk into a local business and save them time? Could you automate a workflow? Could you build a product? Could you generate revenue? Because that's the skill set that matters now, not memorizing syntax, not debating frameworks, not collecting certifications. Creating value. We're entering an era where coding is becoming a commodity. Problem solving isn't. Business understanding isn't. Execution isn't. The future belongs to engineers who stop thinking like employees and start thinking like owners. Because whether you realize it or not, you're already in competition with AI. The only question is whether you're going to use it as a weapon or let it become your replacement. And that decision is being made right now, not next year, not 5 years from now, today.